Today, I'm going to share with you how you can make $3 million a day as a solo player in GTA Online. Now, I've done many guides like this in the past, but a common request I've received is to make a guide that only takes a couple hours a day to do. So today, I'm going to do just that. This entire guide will take 2 to 3 hours to do, and all you need is 3 beginner businesses. So with that being said, the first thing to do is to set up our passive income business, which is the Acid Lab. In order to get the Acid Lab, you'll have to complete the 6 first dose mission storyline. And in order to make the most amount of money with it, you're going to have to do 10 Fooligan missions so that you can buy the equipment upgrade for the business. Now, the way the business works is you either purchase or steal supplies. Over time, those supplies get turned into product, which you could sell for a profit. And once you have the Acid Lab and the equipment upgrade, you could then now purchase supplies for $60,000, and those supplies will be turned into product over the course of the entire money grind. So make sure to purchase supplies, and now let's move into the next part of the grind, which is the Union Depository contract. Now, in order to access it, you will have to have an auto shop, but once you've got that, you could then do the contract, which is essentially a mini heist. You have 2 setups and 1 finale, and in total, including setups and finale, you will get paid out $295,000 for about 20 to 30 minutes work. Now, the 2 setups are really straightforward, but the finale is a little bit difficult, so if you are having trouble with it, I'll leave my guide linked in the description down below. It takes you through the entire thing. So as I said, the contract will take about 20 to 30 minutes and will make you almost $300,000, and once you've done that, we're now going to get into a Cayo Perico heist. Now, in order to do it, you'll have to have the Cayo submarine, but once you have that, you can then start up the heist, and the way it works is you essentially sneak onto an island, take loot from around the island and a primary target in a central compound, and then if you could escape the island successfully, you will walk away with usually $1 million or more. On average, the setups and the finale will take about 50 minutes to an hour to complete, but depending on how good at the heist you are, it might take shorter or longer. Now, the Cayo Perico heist is a lot more complicated than something like the Union Depository contract, so once again, I'll leave a link to my guide in the description down below, taking you through every single setup and the finale. But as I said, the heist in total will make on average roughly $1 million for an hour's work, but your payouts can be anywhere between $800,000 all the way up to $1.6 million. It all depends on your secondary and primary loot. So do the Cayo Perico heist, and then you're gonna head right into another Union Depository contract, because at this time, the 1 hour cooldown should be over. Once again, it will take another 20 to 30 minutes to complete and make you just under $300,000. Now, at this time, it would be great to get back into another Cayo Perico heist, but there is a 2.5 hour cooldown if you're doing it solo, so we can't at the current moment. But there is one way to get around that cooldown, and that is by having another Cayo submarine on your secondary character. So what you're gonna do is go over to your pause menu, head over to online, down to manage characters, and then switch over to your secondary character. And that's because if you have the Cayo submarine with this character, you could then start up the Cayo Perico heist with this character right after completing the Cayo Perico heist with your main character, in essence skipping the cooldown. So once again, we could do another Cayo Perico heist, making about $1 million, and it will take roughly an hour to do once again. Now, it may seem like a lot having to rebuy the Cayo submarine on your secondary character, but luckily the 2 characters share a bank account, so all you have to do is make $2.2 million on your main character, so that when you switch over to your secondary character, you'll have $2.2 million in the bank, which you could buy the Cayo submarine with. So complete the Cayo Perico heist on your secondary character, and then come back to your primary character and purchase supplies for your Acid Lab once again for roughly $60,000. And at this point, your active grind is over. All you have to do is go AFK until your Acid Lab is fully filled with product. Now, there's many different ways to go AFK, but the best way I found is to go to an apartment building that you have 2 units or more in. When you go to the main door and you enter the screen where it shows which apartment you want to choose to go into, leave your game on that screen and you're able to go AFK. And what going AFK means is you're able to walk away from the game for extended periods of time, but the game still thinks you are playing. So you could plug in your controller, walk away, come back 5 hours later, and the game will think that you've been in the game that whole time. And so what that means is that during that time, your Acid Lab has still been producing product. So when you come back, your Acid Lab will be full. Now, at this point in the money grind, your Acid Lab should have been producing for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So that means that you're going to have to go AFK for at least another 2.5 hours. So go AFK for a couple hours, come back, and once you do, your Acid Lab will be full, which you could then sell in a public lobby with 25 or more people, to earn a total of $500,000. Now, selling in a public lobby may seem risky, but there are two things you could do to make it a lot easier. First is before you do the sell mission, check the lobby and see if it is calm. If it is, you should be good to go. The second thing is to use ghost organization while doing the sell mission. This will take you and your product off the radar for 3 minutes, and in that time, most people will either forget that you're doing a sell mission or you will have completed it already and made your money. So sell the asset for 500K, and with that, you've now made at least $3 million. And if you're doing this very quick, the entire process, you can do this in about 2 to maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes of active grinding and then a couple hours of going AFK. But if it is taking a little bit longer, it will likely be in the 3 to 4 hour range. Either way, this is a very easy and realistic way to make $3 million a day as a solo player. I hope this video helped and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like. If you're new, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Peace.